everyone. Welcome to my greenhouse. I'm Ed, and today's job, we're going to take these cucumber plants and move them into hydroponic nutrients. This is going to be much the same process as we did in our last episode, where we rinse off the roots and then move them into nutrients. Today's job is going to be a little bit more difficult because we have two plants together and they are much larger plants, so they're going to have a lot more to their roots. I'm going to start off by getting rid of this tendril here because he's clung on pretty tight. Really don't want that one in the way, fighting me. Now, let's take off this trellis that they have here first. See how we're going to do this. They're already starting to get pretty intertwined here. There we go, get rid of that, put that over to one side. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Put the excess soil over in this bucket and just sort of dig my way around here, see what we got first, because I don't know how big the root structure is on these. Unlike the other day, I was able to completely submerge and soak the plants. Today, that's not going to be so easy. I'm going to try to support them and just dump them out here. There we go. Look at those roots. Look at those roots. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right, now, see if I can get the two of them separated here. A little bit of massage and get the dirt and that away from them. They're mostly peat here, by the feel of it. There we go. All right. Now, let's see how this works out. Just like the other day, now we're going to get this in the water. We're going to soak it. Pick the dirt off as we're going. A lot of roots on these, a lot of roots. They weren't tied together too much though. It wasn't too bad. You ask why we're moving these into hydroponics? Well, I find with soil I have to water them, fertilize them. I water them pretty much every day or two. You got to fertilize them quite often. And I can't say I'm real good at that. So I prefer to put them in hydroponic nutrients. And then I can simply keep the container at a certain level, and they will have everything they need from that liquid. The other thing I like about hydroponics, because they're sitting in a basket instead of the soil, I can move them from one system to another, and it usually works quite well without causing any harm. Okay, so there's the roots there. I'm going to take those out, just as we did the other day with our pumpkin. Oh, by the way, our pumpkin is doing quite well. It lost one flower and two more came out. So this is the pumpkin plant that we did the other day, and I did those tomato plants a few days prior to. We got one pepper there. He's been on the go with that system for a while. So let's continue out and we'll get this one rinsed off. Rinse off these lovely roots here. Look at these roots. They're beautiful. Be careful I don't crack this guy off here. Can't say I've done this with the cucumber plant before, so let's hope that it takes the nutrients okay. All right. Alright, so these roots here are expected to grow bigger than the roots we had on our pumpkin plant in our last episode. So this time I'm going to use a 4-inch net basket, and just like the other day I'm going to snip out part of the bottom of this net cup. Just like so. Take that piece out. And let's see how these roots fit in here. Something like this. Out through the bottom. Down through. There we go. We'll just gently pull them down. Alright. We don't want them all down there. So, that should be good. That much will be down in the nutrients. And there will be some roots up above here too. As I mentioned the other day with the pumpkin, if we take all of the roots and put them down in the nutrient, the plant will literally drown. It will drown because it needs to have oxygen at those roots as well. Alright, let's tidy up here a little bit. We're going to move that out of our way. And we're going to get some clay pellets put in around this. As we mentioned the other day, clay pellets will provide some support. Our plant does not end up tipping over too much. I seem to have the hole in the bottom of this a little bit on the big side. I'll take some bigger pellets down this way in order to plug that up. That's okay. There we go. Get the pellets all around this thing now, so we'll be supporting it. Alright, let's get these pellets out of here. Really not going to do much for us down there except float around. Alright, now with these pots, these are regular flower pots, but I made sure I bought them with a ridge on the inside here. So I then got some 1/4-inch plywood and cut it so it would fit just like so. And these net cups will fit right down in the middle here, like so. Now I have to add my nutrients. This is a master blend nutrient. One more thing I purchased off Amazon. So I'm going to add that. 4 liters what I'm going to put in here right now. This is a tomato formula, which would be a 4-18-38, and it has added calcium nitrate. So we're just going to drop this guy down. We do not want the basket net cup in the nutrient. We just want the nutrients up here. The roots themselves will pull up that nutrient as they need it. And right now, because it came from the soil, it's going to actually have a lot more nutrient available to it than it normally would. Alright, so I'm going to dig out something here now to support this. Actually, let's take this guy right here. It's a first plant to go through this here, so he gets the trellis. And we're just going to put this in here for now. As I get these more established, I will most likely have them tied up on a trellis. But there we go. So we're going to see over the next couple of days how this guy does. Meanwhile, I'm going to get to work with the other one to get it done. Keep in mind that these are coming from soil where they have to acquire their nutrients and that, and we're putting them directly into nutrients. So if we end up damaging a few of these roots, the plant's not going to be bothered too much usually. They're going to have so much nutrient available to them directly that they will have more than enough. And out to the hose we go. Okay, we have this guy all rinsed off. As you can see, the roots are relatively white. Most of the soil is gone. So we're just going to take this and add it right in here. Start making that guy happy right now, since this guy's tail down in it. There we are, 4 liters of Master Blend tomato formula with calcium nitrate. We've got to get this net cup ready. Last time we had the roots hanging out a little bit too much, so I'm not going to hardly cut out so much this time, and we'll see how it fits. Just cutting off these little pieces on the bottom here. There we go. We have a nice hole there. And let's see if those roots are going to fit through there okay. When they're nice and wet like this, they tend to cooperate and they just drop right in really nice. Alright, so we'll keep it up a little bit there and start adding some clay pellets. Let's try to center it a little bit as much as we can here with one hand. Helps on all sides of it, and they'll then support the plant, help it hold it up right. Alright, what I'm going to do now, I have the other top, which I'm going to drop in here. I'm going to put this guy down there now, and then finish putting the pellets in. It'll make it a little bit easier. There we go. Now, this guy needs some kind of trellis as well. We're going to jump ahead now 3.5 weeks and have a look at those cucumber plants that we just transplanted. They have grown quite well. I've already had 2 or 3 cucumbers off them. And as you can see, there are another few cucumbers coming along nicely. We've got them trellised from the ceiling on strings using these small clips that I use for my tomato plants. Works really well. Interestingly, if we have a look inside here, we'll notice quite the root ball underneath this plant as it sits in the nutrients and draws up what it needs. Now, not all of these will produce the same type of roots. This other one, which is an identical plant, seems to have a different root system altogether. But the 2 plants are growing very well and are producing some beautiful cucumbers. and they're working their way across my ceiling of the greenhouse. That's it for now, and I'm Ed, and we'll see you next time in the greenhouse.